so peace out. Remember, you just freaked out. Get ready for defeat now. I'm gonna make you bleed out. Listen on repeat now and read out all the weak now. Get up.
And here we are. Oh, don't need. There we are. We're back. Cool. Let me do the quickie. Having to play with my monitors here. Go ahead and hit share. Share now. Oof. And a share into Flint Politics reboot. Hey, Mama Quill. Let me see. Let me find it. There it is. How's the quality? I put it up to 720 today. I'm hoping it looks halfway decent. If not, oh well. And then again, that could just be my internet buffering it back to me. So we'll wait for a few people because I've only got, oh, no, I do have 11 people. Good morning, everyone. As you can tell, I've done a little bit of work in here since last week. Got that flag. Yeah, that flag. That flag. A few of the things up. I've done a little bit of work in here. Right. Oh, let's go ahead and jump on into some excitement. Let me scroll back up because I got a little bit of deep dived on city council. That massive ass agenda threw up some warning bells for me, and we're going to go through some of the highlights in here. And then if I have time, I'm just going to go bitch about other shit. Hey, Sarah. Really wish I would have wrote down what pages these were. 240289. Nope, I still got a long way to go. What's up, Christopher Sims? I was out a little bit earlier, so sorry if I look a little deceived. But I was digging the range down a little bit so I can add a little bit to the back barrier. And it is, what is the temperature outside, aside from ungodly and hot? Only 85 right now, but the humidity makes it like 89 or 99. Here we go. Nope, that's the old one, 286. 2 more resolutions, I promise. All right. Oh, crab. I mean, I was knife fighting crustaceans, some crawdads. You can ask Kevin Berryhill over on the YouTube side. He was there. He saw me do it. As of right now. Connection, stay solid. Okay. Let's see, there's Kevin Berryhill. Yes, he was. Yes, he had a cocktail. So, let's go ahead and just jump right on into this. Resolution 240284 by City Administrator. Resolution approving reallocation of ARPA funds and opioid funds to award grants for emergency water relief funds. Hello, Cicero. In 2002 and 2003, the City of Flint received funds pursuant to the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, or ARPA, which could be used by the city for specific and defined purposes. In 2022, the City of Flint obligated all of the ARPA funding received, of which approximately 40 million was obliged as revenue replacement. In 2023 and 2024, the city of Flint received funds from the National Opioid Settlement, of which 30% can be used for any lawful purpose, and the city administration recommends allocating 50,000 of ARPA funds previously obliged to revenue replacement and 50,000 of unallocated opioid funds to provide emergency water payment assistance. The total transfer of 100,000 is recommended to go to emergency water and sewer relief to provide water bill relief for. Hmm. Miss Sherry, can you actually hear me right now? I'm hoping I didn't break my internet. Okay, cool. It's somewhat stable again. Actually, just to confirm that, kill that. There we go. And Kevin Berryhill has got the right of it. Robbing the funds to get the pipes fixed to help pay the bills because they're too high. Imagine, just imagine being so stupid that you think you have to take money that you've gotten to improve the city and use that to help people with their water bill when you could just be smart and figure out how to unfuck their water bill. I don't know, maybe lower it and find ways of getting funds for the city in another way. But no. They decide to do this. And mind you, this is after the opiate funds, a large portion of it was used for that water payment center on the north end. They've yet to use the opiate funds for anything that has to do with opiates, with anything that has to do with helping people out with an opiate addiction or making things right by them or their families. They haven't opened up any sort of clinic. They haven't opened up any sort of rehab. None of that. I am stuck on YouTube. All right. Give me a second. I'm going to take myself off stage for a sec. And I'm going to try resetting a router. All right. Let's see if that fixes it. Yeah. A little bit better. A little bit better. Okay. So going back to what I was saying, they're using our opiate funds and ARPA funds to pay people's water bill. Instead, you get the Judy Priestley option of raise taxes. Really, this is going to piss me off if this keeps on happening. Yep. Thank you, Chrissy. And yet they've yet to use any opiate funds to help anyone. Period. End of story. They haven't given a cent to anything Did it help? Maybe. We'll see. Try streaming in lower quality so it doesn't mess it up as much. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to call it today. Which sucks. Okay. Let's go on and scroll down to 240285. No crab legs. I'm not seaside, but I have been fighting crawdad. So I'll bring you some crawdad. How about that? So, background summary of proposed action. The city administration recommends reallocating $50,000 of opioid funds and $50,000 of ARPA funds previously obligated to revenue replacement to provide funding to the city of Flint for emergency water sewer relief funds for the residents. A water bill relief credit for emergency water relief only will provide immediate financial relief to residents, many of whom are disproportionately minorities and are low to moderate income earners. This program will be targeted at tenants since Resolution 240182 targeted homeowners. So they're trying to throw $100,000 in from all of that into the water fund. And if you here are a homeowner in the city of Flint, you will not benefit from it. This is just for tenants. Mind you, property owners from 240182 all receive that water credit. Everyone, including apartment complex landlords. And of course, they may or may not have passed it on to the tenants. So how will this work? Administration allotted up to $8,600,000 toward water bill relief in the amount of a $300 credit per resident account, the equivalent of 3 months of the average water bill. Bullshit. Funding for this project shall come from the American Rescue Plan Fund. The water relief credit was applied on June 30th, 2022. The remaining balance is $174,594.63, with revenue replacement at $30,000 and a $25,000 contingency fund, and from the administration budget, $20,405.37 will be used for this resolution. This is a companion resolution to 240182 for $250,000 sent to the council and has yet to be approved. Mama, cool, they're looking to do it again. And remember the name on that when they sent it to your mail. Mayor Neely's water credit. I mean, yeah, sounds about right. Just like Mayor Neely, the water credit did jack shit for anyone fucking else. The designated purpose of ARPA funding is to replace lost revenue. Not all of it. The city of Flint is owed $10 million in unpaid water bills. Well, maybe if you made the water bills more affordable and if you weren't serving people fucking poison, they wouldn't refuse to pay you. Much of this dating to the pandemic, when the administration placed a moratorium on water shutoffs to stop the spread of COVID-19. Flint residents continue to face hardship in paying their water bills. No fucking duh. And no assistance programs are currently available from you because you refuse to ask. To recover lost revenue to stabilize the water system's finances and support residents unable to pay their bills, the city of Flint proposes to use $50,000 in ARPA funds and $50,000 in opioid funds for emergency water sewer bill assistance for tenant residents. It almost sounds like they're listening to Rich Jones, and they too failed to figure out how to implement fixing or stabilizing the water fund, so they just decided to dip into their give all, do all penny banks. So, let's see. Mama Quill right here gets it. Perhaps if they fixed the water, the residents would be more willing to pay their water bill. Hey, I mean, I don't like paying for broken or messed up stuff, so yeah. And here's a fun one. Resolution awarding a contract to Genesee Conservation District for inspecting trees impacting sidewalks throughout the city of Flint. Oh, Angela Lynette. Uh, that's crazy. Y'all pay anything for poisonous water, let alone 100 a month. No, it's more than 100 a month. Uh, when I was living in Flint, I lived in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house with unfinished basement. I had myself, my wife, and my kid. No leaks in the house, hardly using the water, and we were paying 140 a month. Now imagine a more active family, a slightly larger family, either or, paying close to 150, 200 for water that you can't really use. I mean, unfortunately, you have to shower, so you use that. And unfortunately, you have to wash your clothes, so you use that. That's the only time most people are using it for showers or bathing and for washing their fucking clothes. And it's still upwards of $100+ a month. Tell me how that makes sense. And like I told you guys earlier this year, they're looking at raising the prices again because the city of Flint doesn't know how to regulate its own money. Then we got resolution awarding contract to Genesee Conservation District for inspecting trees impacting sidewalks throughout the city. This one is going to cost $200,000 in ARPA funds. But it gets better. On October 24, 2022, the Flint City Council allocated funding of the American Rescue Plan Act funding for tree replacements via Resolution 220464.1. To implement that resolution, the City of Flint Division of Purchases and Supplies solicited proposals for tree services in the right-of-way as requested by the Department of Public Works Transportation Division. The City of Flint Urban Forestry Management Plan requires city-owned trees to be inspected by a professional. Staff recommends awarding a contract to Genesee Conservation District, Genesee Soil and Water Conservation at 1525 North Elm Road, Flint, Michigan 48532, as they inspect City of Flint trees through a memorandum of understanding. They're calling it in your face right now. Number one, how many divisions did I just list off? Maybe if you cut some of those damn divisions. I mean, what the fuck is an urban forestry management plan? Does anyone know? Maybe if you cut that out. Maybe if you consolidate 16 of these damn different divisions, you wouldn't have to charge people so much. But now they're looking at number one, they spent plenty of money on 220464.1. Now they want to throw another 200,000 at it for tree maintenance. And they're telling you who they want city council to award the bid to, the contract. They're putting it in your face. A blind bid should be city council goes in the back, opens up the bids, see how much they are, and then walks out. Instead, by the city administrator, they're saying, choose this one. Before Free Daddy, you're gonna have to tell me what that second word is, because I think your autocorrect is being disrespectful again. Bring up that addendum to the disruption agenda break. Oh, God, I can't even remember which one that was. However, what they're trying to do with that was to make it to extra charges, is all it boils down to. You have disturbing the peace, or disturbing the peace, assault and battery, disruption. They're trying to make like make it to where if you're kicked out of council, the officer at his discretion, which means at city council president's discretion or at Mayor Neely's discretion in all reality, can hit you with 3 or 4 charges instead of just one. And to put on top of that, something I've learned in the past through my lawsuit with Art Woodson against the city of Flint on, well, the basis of those things behind me, is if you've been put out of a meeting X amount of times, it doesn't really say, it just says if you're regularly put out, then they can prevent you from going in the first place, the very next one, or the one after, or the one after. They can keep you out for X amount of time. So they keep you out of a meeting by slapping on 5, 10, 15 charges. How many times you ever get kicked out, now you are suffering because you're probably in a jail cell at that point, getting that many charges, and you have fees, and you have legal fees, you got fines. Oh, yeah. And you can't go to city council and talk anymore. They've set it up to fuck you. Just honestly, folks, if you're going to speak out, if you're going to do anything at city council, I recommend bringing your own lube. Just saying. Right here, Miss Angela. And I will tack onto that and say, Ms. Gladys, Art, and Rich need to bring their own bottle of KY for when they get fucked. Just saying, that's what it's set up for. Or anytime Winchester Mickey acts out, because the other part of the local administrative order that they're trying to enforce to keep firearms out is media, where without a written consent form from a judge, I like how Free's like, we're not, without a written consent form from a judge, you can't film in there. Now, thankfully, an injunction has gone on to stop all that. However, if this lawsuit fails, they may just say, no, 810 is not allowed in here, and then direct Paul to go get the proper signed consent form. And you're all going to say freedom of the press. However, and Angela, public meeting. However, they're trying to say that it's in a courtroom, that the city of Flint City Hall is a satellite office of the 67th District Court. And just like in a district courtroom, you cannot carry a firearm, you cannot carry marijuana, you cannot carry a taser, a knife, a fucking bag of quarters. The next thing is you also cannot film in there without the judge's consent. I remember there was a rather big case about a year ago, year and a half, and I was asked to see if we could film in there. The judge turned us down, but we had to ask. Same goes on with Flint City Council in this case. That's why I'm praying this injunction is held, and then Judge Piquel just turns around and says, no, this entire thing is ludicrous, and turns it over so the city of Flint can't do that. Oh, River. If it wasn't for double standards, city council wouldn't have any at all, sweetie. Nobody on that dais, or however you spell it, has a law degree. Why do they keep comparing it to a court of law? Because the dude with the fucked up back of his head on the right hand side of the room from our perspective happened to tell them that they could do this. Now, granted, William Bill did quit. I believe today is his last day, and he gets to go play with Nestle. Yeah. And as River pointed out right here, if they're trying to say it's a court, they need to hold themselves to court standards. Understood. I agree. But in a court, Liddell would have been tackled by 3 or 4 guards the second she tried to fight Dennis Pfeiffer and Art Woodson, and she would have been hauled off for contempt of court. But that also opens up the next thing. If they were to succeed with this and no personal protective items are allowed, okay. No media is allowed, okay. And you get disruptive, or they call you disruptive, are you held in contempt of court? Oh, free. Of course they're going to slip these back in. These weren't even voted on. They're going to have the meeting size. The agenda packet was 350 pages long on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. 350 pages. Now that tells me a few things. Number one, that it's coming to be that time of year where Neely's getting pressured by his party, Democrat Party. Whether he's a true Democrat or not, he is a registered Democrat in control of the executive branch of the city of Flint. Just like Republican mayors are getting it all over the country, where they're being pushed rather hard to get their party's agendas put into law of their cities. And you see a lot of things here. Well, let me get to one that made sense, or made a little bit less sense to me, which I think was 240290. Let me get through all this crap here. Because it came with all the buzzwords and it was disgusting. God damn. They had to go back for Exhibit C, Certificate of Acceptance, da. To show Clyde Edwards' credentials. No one cares. The man's got like 12 jobs, we all know. Nope. Transportation services. Professional services. 288. Okay, so 220288, whereas water pollution control generates approximately 12,000 wet tons of biosolids and cakes, it all builds up to one thing. One, spending $250,000 for a disposal service, even though they're trying to buy a dump truck of their own, which if you can afford $200,000 for a damn dump truck, you would think that they could afford an entire garbage department of their own, but whatever. Let me find it. 288, 289. Oh, God. That's the truck services. Towing services from Chief Green, who would say that all 3 of those things behind me on the wall are AR-15s because he's not a great cop. We'll put it like that. For some reason, random pictures, including a dog tackling a dude. I'm not even kidding you. Page 206, 205 has black and white pictures of a dog tackling a dude for some reason in here, even though it's about towing. I don't even know. I think Davina just said fucking just threw random things in here. All right. Here we go. Resolution 240290. Resolution approving a budget amendment and authorization for the city of Flint to accept a $1 million grant from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Whereas the city of Flint was awarded funding from the Environmental Protection Agency, grant number 00 Echo or sorry, Oscar Echo 03636, and whereas the amount awarded was $1 million, and whereas the grant will extend for 3 years from June 1st, 2024 to May 31st, 2027, and whereas cumulative awarded money may be $1 million, and whereas the grant is awarded to the City of Flint as the fiduciary, and 5 community partner organizations to support environmental justice efforts. That's the word. Instead of saying, hey, we know your entire area is polluted, and we know that your river has more GM parts in it than most vehicles, we're just going to give it a fancy name. That's the wording. And that's what I'm seeing a lot right now. Aside from that, I'm also seeing Mayor Neely start to panic a little bit and start to throw money a little bit more toward his friends. So right here, 5 community partner organizations and the City of Flint will split that $1 million. Now, here's why. People like this woman right here, Rose Morrow, who are promising to come in and do right by the people of Flint rather than do right by a little bit of money in her pocket. Ms. Rose Morrow, I wish you the absolute best. And I do hope that you get that seat, because I know things will change. I mean, all we need is to flip one seat, just one. And then you'll be on, or we'll have the 5-seat majority. We can start getting things done. Except then the city council president will go back to the you need 6 votes. Okay, fine, 6 votes, but that gridlocks everything, and Neely can't make his money come out. All we need is 1 seat. And right now we got 3 seats up for grabs. A 4th seat in contention right now, depending on how Ms. Bev Biggs and Mr. Jeb have done. I have all the faith in the world on them of going out and getting more and more signatures on Liddell. But you smell the desperation. I mean, you can read the desperation. You can feel the desperation in every last one of these resolutions written up for money. There was another one that Free actually had me take a look at during our watch party in Discord, which, by the way, if you're not part of the Discord, this is probably the last week to get in for free. And after that, everyone that is in there, when we launch some, I'll get into that later. Let me get into that later. All right. Avon Pump Station. Where is it? You know what? I can just look in my DMs with Miss Free, because Free's awesome like that. Here we are. The councilperson in the 2nd Ward recommends reallocating another $10,000 of ARPA funds to her ward account, previously obliged to the revenue replacement, to provide funding for the Neighborhood Engagement Hub to serve as fiduciary to support summer lawn maintenance of land bank properties and abandoned private properties of the 2nd Ward. Everyone let that sink in for a second. She wants to throw $10,000 of ARPA funds to a fiduciary. Now, I've seen that fiduciary's name before. Let me pull up my web browser. This web browser. Go to Reddit. Yes, Reddit. Because they were actually in the Flint subreddit. No, that's dumb. How about I not type the same thing twice? Flint subreddit, or r/Flint. For some good news and some things around Flint that people may be interested in, here's a link. Things like public transport. Apparently, Fenton Road has a white supremacist clubhouse. Who knew? But I am looking for Neighborhood Engagement Hub. Let me see. And I know I did not spell that right. Three months ago, one of the top comments was from user STWHA. And I will. Ooh. Facebook does not like Reddit, apparently. I'll go ahead and post that on the Facebook side as well. Oh, cool. It went straight there. Perfect. Hi, I run the nonprofit who is acting as fiduciary for these funds. While Liddell did incorporate the group, she has handed off the leadership. Da 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 da. Our organization is fiduciary for 6 and counting of the ARPA grants on behalf of the neighborhood associations who cannot receive the funds or who will need professional assistance with financial management of the funds. I am happy to answer any questions related to ARPA as I have worked in the nonprofit sector for 20 years, and throughout that time, I have managed and received federal, state, and philanthropic grants. Now, remember, each time that a fiduciary holds the funds, they can do with them as they please. Any fucking time. Now, they can also skim off the top. They can take money and hold on to it saying administrative fees. Oh, well, this is a fee for holding your money. Well, this is our fucking, damn it, enrollment or our salary fees, X, Y, and Z. And they're doing it for, at the time, 3 months ago, 6 organizations, about to be 7. Uh-oh. Who's yelling at me today? Yeah, you can go fuck yourself. Think about that for a second. Oh, also, the city's policy is 20% payment up front, and then we have to submit for reimbursement. So if the city finds something that is, quote, an unallowable expense, which they won't because they never look, they will not pay any organization back for that. This means that the fiduciary organizations are on the hook, or else we are out of money. Cute. Thought I'd just go ahead and put that up. Ooh, that's something to dig into later. However, the OP in here did mention 810 News Media Group, which makes me happy. And there we go. And all this and more will be back up because everything that was shot down or moved, as we all know, Liddell Lewis, as city council president, can take things out of committee whenever she wants and put them right back on council agenda. So while 5th Ward Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter on Monday objected to many changes to a resolution just before the meeting. And she said she would prefer to have time to look it over and it should be debated in committee. She and majority of council voted to send it back to committee. Liddell's probably just going to skip it through committee again. It's coming right back up. So while I applaud Jerry for doing the right thing, however, it doesn't make a difference in the end. The only thing that'll make a difference is going out and voting. The only thing that'll make a difference is caring who your council people are. Because honestly, if you don't care and you don't go out and vote, then you can't really complain about what you got. I voted for Tanya Burns, and thus far I've not been disappointed in her. But the rest of council running things a certain way, throwing money out where they don't need to and doing X, Y, and Z, basically ran me out of Flint. And I don't want to see that happen too much more. However, I've already come up with contingency plans for family living there. Because at the end of the day, unless we change things and change our voting patterns and voting on people because we know them rather than voting on people because they're smarter than a rock, they can have a plan or an idea and then plan to make that idea a reality, then you're just going to keep getting more of the same. And you're going to keep getting crooks and criminals that'll cycle money through the city to their pockets and their friends' pockets. It has been a decade-long endemic just based off the water crisis. How many friends and family plans were put together to change out pipes? And how many times did they overpay? And now they're out of money. Many service lines didn't get replaced. Many yards are still destroyed. And had they done it right the first time, they might still have money left over to start treating the inside of people's houses. Inside plumbing, water heaters, furnaces. Well, for those in the second ward whose furnaces got flooded at least, refrigerators, anything like that could have been replaced had previous councils actually worked the money correctly. From free, facts are facts, and the people have a right to know facts, no matter how you finesse it in council. Honestly, everyone wants to come up with these big, beautiful speeches and word salads. I mean, so where I'm from in Texas, the way that some of these folks used to talk or are talking, we used to call it pontification, using 30 words to say two things. And I can point you at a certain local activist that does that quite often. Well, he hasn't popped up in a little while, ever since he decided to take swings at vets. And go figure. Yes, DeJuan, I'm talking about you. You can't speak things plainly. Fuck off. And you see it in council. First ward, hell. I don't know what he was doing with his prayer, but it could have just been, God, please help us. Or second ward, using her big PhD vocabulary to talk down to someone and call them ignorant. Well, the councilman in the Ninth Ward had a problem with that, and he showed that he was not ready to play stupid to make her feel smart, regardless of her vocabulary. I was so proud of that. And then we've got the Ethics and Accountability Board, which I admitted this morning on the Morning Bump. I didn't watch it. It is a waste of time. Nothing gets done there, ever. You have men and women who are never held accountable and who are completely unethical. The Ethics and Accountability Board likes to tie the hands of Miss Shasta Little, the ombudsperson. I believe that's her. And she is a wonderful lady. Hell, myself and Tanya Burns have sent her an official complaint on the Flint City Police Department for not doing their damn job. But if the EAB won't let her do her job, well, that's just all there is to it. I wasted time and energy, and I wasted Miss Tanya's time. And to be honest, I'm kind of sick of seeing Mickey and Winters go up to the EAB because that wastes their time. They could be spending time with their families. They could be doing something they enjoy. They could be filming other shows. They could be doing whatever. But instead, they go to the EAB because everyone expects the EAB to be doing something. They haven't even written letters. They've been working on these fucking letters for 6 goddamn months. It's a goddamn please show up letter. It's not even a subpoena. It's just a please show up letter, not a fucking PhD dissertation. It's that entire board needs to go. It's a waste of money and a waste of time. I mean, there are a few people on that board that I wish we could find different positions for. Ms. Billy Danzler is definitely one of them. I truly like her. I think that she does her best to hold city council and the administration accountable and to try to keep them to be ethical. However, she's tied up in that board. She can't get past Joe King, which I'm really wondering about his service now, because if I had acted anything like that during my service, I would have gotten my ass drummed the fuck out. The man's supposed to be there to help protect the city, and instead he's protecting the people fucking the city. It's disgusting. And I'm fucking disgusted that my family still lives there, unfortunately. At least parts of it. But let's get on to some happier news. So myself and Free Daddy have started up a Discord. It was a lot of fun on our city council watch party. You can go in there at any time, type up, talk, leave suggestions in the individual show chats, or you can go into a voice chat and chill, or just talk with people. You'll just see people pop in round and round throughout the day. Then myself, Mickey, Winters, and Free were talking about starting up a Patreon for some more exclusive content, like some things that I would like to talk about would probably be flagged on Facebook and YouTube. Mainly the things behind me, and sometimes some other fun conversations. So we're thinking of starting up a Patreon. Exclusive content, some exclusive interviews, not many, because most interviews are need to be public knowledge. But part of that's also going to be access to the Discord. So if you want to join and you don't want to pay, get at myself and Miss Free. But I'm really excited about Patreon, ladies and gentlemen. We're starting that up rather soon. And then to tack on to that, while it is a little late in the game, I have talked with Mickey and Winters, and we've agreed that a raffle seems to be in order for 810 day. So keep your ears on for that, for prizes. There's going to be a few that you have to show up in person for. And then for those of us who aren't in the city at that day, I've trying to work on trying to get a few raffle prizes for those viewing online. And those will be announced in the live chat. So, I don't know what else to say. I've gone through an hour-ish of looking at bullshit documents and driving myself insane, looking at money that could have honestly gone to anything and everything else, but they're wanting to put up fucking willow trees. They're wanting $200,000 a year, mind you, for fiscal year 23, 24, 25. Or is it 24, 25, 26? Anyway, overall $600,000 to cut and inspect some fucking trees. And not to mention another $10,000 to cut lots that belong to land bank. Wait, Quincy, you got that fancy fucking lawnmower. Why aren't you, since you're on the land bank board, cutting those fucking lawns? What about the green team or clean team or whatever? Why aren't they cutting it? Why is it extra money coming out of this? Oh, But we've got more content coming today. I believe Sister Circle's coming on. Community conversations. And then tomorrow is talking with Tanya. Then we've got the clubhouse. Tune on in or come on into the clubhouse. And then Sunday is poll talk, which I'm really interested to see what the ladies kind of got going on there. Then Monday, back to our regularly scheduled program. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope to see you a bit later today, and have a good one.